Well, hello there, and a very warm good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on when and where you're joining us.
It's really great to have you with us.
It is. Before we jump in, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us, what time are you watching this video, and where are you tuning in from?
Yeah, leave us a comment below.
Now, today we want to talk about something that, well, let's be honest, many of us start to notice as the years go by.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling in your legs, maybe they don't feel quite as strong or, as steady as they used to.
Right. Getting up from a chair,
Yeah.
maybe tackling stairs. It feels a bit different.
It can sometimes feel a little more challenging. It's a pretty common concern, isn't it?
It certainly is. And for a long time, the main thought has been, well, that's just how it is with age. You just accept it.
Yeah, just part of getting older.
But we've been looking into some really compelling science-backed research lately.
Mm.
And it offers a surprisingly different perspective on why that might be happening.
And this is where it gets really interesting based on this material we've been reviewing.
Mm-hmm.
What if the main reason your legs feel weaker isn't simply that they've, well, worn out or the muscle has just vanished?
Right. What if it's something else?
What if it's something this research suggests could actually be reversed and not necessarily just through, hitting the gym harder or more exercise?
That's exactly it.
Mm.
This research we've studied puts forward this fascinating idea. Maybe your legs aren't losing strength just because the muscle is gone,
Okay.
but because the communication to the muscle, from your brain, isn't getting through clearly anymore.
Like the signal is weak or
Yeah.
fuzzy.
Kind of like that, yes. And the material suggests that specific foods can actually help reawaken that connection, help strengthen it.
Wow. So our goal in exploring this material today is really to unpack these insights for you.
Right.
To look at a simple food-based approach that this research suggests could offer a real path to, well, potentially regaining strength and confidence in your legs.
It's about giving your body the right signals.
And apparently, food can be a powerful, powerful signal.
Exactly. It's a wonderfully hopeful message in this material, this idea that perhaps your muscles aren't gone or broken, but maybe just asleep, waiting for the right kind of trigger to wake up and work properly again.
And that trigger, it might be sitting right there in your kitchen.
Could be.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more then. Starting with that common belief we mentioned. For so long, it's felt like a fact of life. Losing leg strength? Yep, that's just part of the deal.
You feel it, you expect it. Seems almost inevitable, doesn't it?
It does.
And while, yes, some changes do naturally happen with age, this research gently challenges that idea, that it's the only or even the main reason for many people.
Okay.
A core idea presented is that the real issue might not be just age or a huge loss of muscle tissue itself,
But something else.
but rather something they describe as signal loss, or sometimes it's called a neuromuscular disconnect.
A disconnect. Okay, so like the brain is trying its best to tell the leg muscles what to do. Stand up, walk, lift. But the message is getting scrambled or just isn't arriving properly.
Precisely. This material uses a really helpful analogy, actually. Think of it like a light bulb.
Okay.
The bulb itself, that's your muscle, right? It might still be perfectly healthy, totally functional. But if the wire connecting it to the power source, your brain is frayed, or maybe the switch is faulty.
Then the light won't turn on or it'll flicker.
Exactly. It won't shine brightly. That's the kind of picture painted of this signal failure.
And they mentioned some pretty compelling recent work on this, like a study from 2023.
Yes, from the University of Calgary. It supports this very idea, indicating that this signal failure, this neuromuscular disconnect, might actually play a bigger role in leg weakness for many seniors.
Bigger than.
Bigger than the actual amount of muscle shrinkage itself.
Wow.
And what's particularly fascinating and really hopeful here is that this disconnect, unlike trying to rebuild lots of lost muscle, which, it takes a lot of effort and time.
Right, that can be hard work.
This disconnect is presented in the research as potentially reversible.
Reversible.
It means the focus isn't necessarily on spending months or years struggling to build muscle from scratch. The goal, based on this material, is simpler. It's to wake up and reconnect the brain's signal with the muscle you already have.
That really changes how you think about it, doesn't it? You're not trying to build a whole new light bulb. You're focusing on fixing the wiring.
Exactly. So the muscle you have can actually perform the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
And the main solution proposed by this research is also really intriguing. It focuses on specific foods.
Foods, not just exercise or something.
Foods, they suggest certain nutrients can act like a sort of battery pack or even a megaphone for your nerves.
A megaphone. How
By significantly recharging the nervous system and improving that crucial brain-to-muscle communication. They specifically mention a key messenger molecule, acetylcholine.
Acetylcholine.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's vital for carrying that signal clearly from the brain down to the legs.
So, based on this material, why is fixing this brain-to-leg connection so important? Well, you think about it. Loss of leg strength really impacts your daily independence, doesn't it? Simple things like walking to the mailbox or standing up from your favorite chair.
Even navigating stairs safely in your own home.
Exactly. This research seems to offer a hopeful, practical path forward. It suggests change is possible, maybe even relatively quickly, just by addressing this disconnect.
Right.
So if our muscles are like a phone that's not getting a good signal,
That's a great analogy they use, yes.
then this research suggests we need the right charger, the right kind of fuel to restore that energy and spark the connection.
Precisely. Not just trying to make the same weak call over and over again. And this material specifically highlights 3 key recharging nutrients.
Okay, like a battery pack for the system.
Exactly, like an essential battery pack for your neuromuscular system.
Let's hear about them. What does the research pinpoint?
Okay, first up, we have amino acids, and one in particular called leucine.
Leucine, okay.
The research calls these the builders because, well, they're the building blocks of muscle. Leucine is essential, meaning your body can't make it. You have to get it from food.
Right, it's the same.
And critically, the material indicates it acts like an on switch for something called protein synthesis.
Protein synthesis, that's the muscle building process.
That's the one. The process your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue. Leucine basically tells it, okay, time to build.
Got it. The builders, with leucine as the key switch. What's next in this nutrient battery pack?
Next up is choline. This research calls it the messenger booster.
Messenger booster.
Yes, because this nutrient is absolutely crucial. Your body uses it to create that acetylcholine we mentioned earlier.
Ah, the signal carrier.
Exactly, that critical neurotransmitter carrying the brain's signal to your muscles. If you're low on choline, this research suggests it's like trying to shout a command through a thick pillow.
Oh, I see. The message gets muffled.
Right. The muscle just can't hear the brain's instruction clearly, even if the muscle itself is perfectly capable.
That makes perfect sense with the whole disconnect idea. Okay, and the third one?
The third category highlighted is B vitamins, specifically B6, B12, and folate.
B vitamins.
These are presented as the conductors. They play a vital supporting role, keeping your nerves healthy, ensuring the red blood cells that deliver oxygen to muscles are doing their job efficiently,
Right.
and just supporting that smooth, effective talk between your nerves and muscles. Without enough of these, the research suggests fatigue can set in faster, and the signals aren't quite as strong or reliable.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this right, based on the research. Amino acids, like leucine, tell the muscles to build. Choline boosts the brain's signal messenger, and B vitamins keep the nerve conductors healthy and strong.
That's a great summary. You've got it.
And what's really compelling about this research is the claim that you said these nutrients can start making a difference within hours, not weeks.
That's the claim, yes. They use that analogy of plugging in a drained phone. Just one properly timed meal, rich in these key nutrients, can apparently begin the process of recharging and improving that system connection.
Wow, within hours. That's a pretty powerful claim.
It is.
And the research suggests it can be achievable with fairly simple foods, things you might already have, like eggs or maybe a protein shake.
Exactly. Things that are accessible. It really shifts the perspective, doesn't it?
It does. The question isn't just, why are my legs weak? But maybe, am I giving them the right nutritional support for that connection they need?
Precisely. Are you feeding the connection?
All right, let's shine a spotlight on these key ingredients individually then. Understand exactly how this research suggests they work their magic. First up, leucine. You mentioned it's called the molecular switch.
Yes. Leucine is presented as possibly the most powerful trigger for muscle repair and growth. It's essential, so you have to get it from your diet.
Right.
But its unique role, according to this research, is acting as a direct signal. It tells your body very clearly, okay, the building process starts now.
And it does this by activating something called the mTOR pathway. Is that right?
That's right, yes. The research explains leucine as a primary activator of this mTOR pathway. They describe it as your body's muscle-building master switch.
A master switch, okay.
Once that switch is flipped on effectively, your body becomes much more efficient at using the protein and other nutrients you eat to repair, strengthen, and importantly, maintain muscle tissue.
And the promising part, according to this research, is that you don't necessarily need, super strenuous exercise or expensive supplements to trigger this.
Correct. Just eating foods rich in leucine in the right amounts can apparently be enough.
So what kind of foods are we talking about?
Well, the material lists common, accessible sources like eggs, particularly the whites of chicken breast, tuna, whey protein supplements if that's convenient, and low-fat cottage cheese. And it gives specific amounts that research suggests are needed for older adults to really trigger that muscle repair effectively. They recommend aiming for around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine at each major meal.
2.5 to 3 grams per meal. Okay, so putting that into food terms,
Yeah.
based on this research, what does that look like?
It translates roughly to the amount of leucine you'd get in about, say, 3 whole eggs, or maybe 4 ounces of chicken breast, or 1 scoop of a good quality whey protein per meal.
Got it, per meal.
That's the kind of dose suggested in this material. It seems to help overcome something they call anabolic resistance.
Anabolic resistance, what's that?
It's basically a natural reduced ability in older adults to efficiently use protein to build muscle. It just gets harder.
Ah, okay.
But getting enough leucine consistently spread throughout the day seems to help the body respond better again, promoting better muscle function and steadiness.
Okay, so that's leucine the switch to start the building. Now let's talk about choline, and specifically the mighty egg yolk you mentioned.
Ah, yes, the incredible egg yolk. So we talked about choline's vital role in making acetylcholine.
The messenger molecule.
Exactly, carrying the brain's commands down to your leg muscles. This research really emphasizes that without enough of it, that signal gets fuzzy or weak or delayed.
Right.
You might feel slow or unsteady, maybe even a bit shaky, simply because the message isn't getting through clearly, not necessarily because the muscle fiber itself is worn out.
And this research points to egg yolks as a real superstar source of choline.
Absolutely. One large egg yolk provides about 150 milligrams of choline. That makes them incredibly nutrient-dense for this specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And this research actually addresses those common older fears about dietary cholesterol pretty directly.
Yeah, interesting. What does it say?
It strongly emphasizes that for seniors focused on brain and muscle health, egg yolks are presented as remarkably powerful fuel, really beneficial.
So combining those yolks with a leucine source, like you said, maybe the egg whites or whey protein, this material suggests that creates a kind of synergy.
That's precisely the idea presented, yes. Choline from the yolk plus leucine from the white, or whey, equals, potentially, significantly better brain-to-leg communication and power.
Like making sure both parts of the system are working well together.
Exactly. The brain sends a clear, strong message because it has the materials, the choline. The nerve carries it powerfully. And the muscle is primed to respond with strength and repair because of the leucine.
Makes sense.
This research suggests a simple breakfast of, say, 3 whole eggs is a really potent way to kickstart this process daily.
3 whole eggs, okay.
And while they do list other choline sources, things like beef liver, chicken, salmon, even Brussels sprouts and milk,
right.
Eggs are really highlighted for their accessibility and that specific nutrient profile.
Fascinating. So we've got the muscle building switch flipped with leucine and the messenger signal boosted with choline. What about blood flow? That seems pretty important for legs, too.
You're exactly right. Blood flow is identified in this research as a third key factor. Absolutely crucial.
Why is that?
Well, your muscles need a constant, reliable supply of fuel and oxygen carried by your blood. Poor circulation, which can become more common as we age, can make legs feel heavy, tired, and just less responsive, even if the muscle tissue itself is technically okay.
And that's where beetroot comes in. Did I hear that right?
Yes. Beetroot, the root vegetable. This research describes it as a natural way to support muscle performance.
How does that work?
Well, beets are naturally rich in compounds called nitrates. When you eat them, your body converts these nitrates into something called nitric oxide, or NO.
Nitric oxide, okay.
And nitric oxide is this amazing little molecule that helps signal your blood vessels to relax and widen.
Ah, so it improves circulation.
Exactly. It helps get more oxygen and nutrients efficiently to your working muscles, especially down in your legs.
And the research mentioned a study where seniors drinking beet juice actually saw improvements.
It does. This material cites research, including one specific study showing that seniors who consumed beet juice experienced improvements in their walking speed, better leg endurance, and even enhanced muscle oxygenation within just a few hours of drinking it.
Within hours again.
Yes. The potential, they suggest, is to feel a difference in how your legs feel and perform, maybe even on the same day.
That's pretty amazing. How much do they suggest you might need, according to this material?
Around 200 to 250 milliliters of fresh beetroot juice, or maybe one of those concentrated nitrate shots, is suggested as an effective amount.
Okay, about a cup's worth.
Roughly, yes. And for best results, the research recommends drinking it about 90 minutes before you plan any significant physical activity,
90 minutes to 4. Got it.
and ideally pairing it with your breakfast. They also note that overcooking beets can reduce the nitrate content
Ah, good tip.
and suggest maybe mixing the juice with a little lemon or ginger to make it taste better if needed.
Right.
The payoff, they say, is often legs that feel less heavy and steps that feel noticeably easier.
Okay, so we have leucine for the muscle switch, choline for the messenger, and beetroot for better blood flow. What else can get in the way of strong, responsive legs, according to this research? Is there anything else?
There's something this research refers to as a kind of silent strength killer.
Ooh, that sounds ominous. What is it?
Chronic low-grade inflammation.
Inflammation. Okay.
It's often present without causing obvious pain, like you'd feel with an injury,
Yeah.
but it subtly disrupts just about everything.
Like what?
Blood flow, nerve signals,
Yeah.
and your muscles' ability to function properly and recover well.
So even if you're trying to eat the right things, inflammation can be like static on the line, interfering with the whole process.
That's a great way to put it, exactly. This research directly links chronic inflammation, which can increase with age, to issues like, accelerated muscle wasting, particularly in the legs.
Oh, dear.
Also, slower recovery after even minor activity, persistent fatigue, stiffness, and that reduced blood flow we just talked about.
Hmm.
It's basically your body's defense system kind of stuck in overdrive, and it inadvertently starts harming its own tissues over time.
So what's the suggested antidote here based on this material? How do you combat that?
Well, the research points towards leafy greens.
Leafy greens like spinach and kale.
Yes. The research describes these powerful compounds called polyphenols, which are abundant in dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, Swiss chard, things like that.
Okay.
It calls them nature's anti-inflammatory arsenal.
Nature's arsenal. I like that.
These compounds work at a cellular level to help neutralize those inflammatory signals, improve oxygen transport, and support overall tissue health and healing throughout the body, including your legs.
How much do they suggest is a good starting point? Do you need mountains of greens?
No, not necessarily. The material suggests that incorporating something as simple as eating just 1 cup of steamed greens per day can start to make a real difference in calming down this chronic inflammation.
1 cup a day. That seems manageable.
It does.
Yeah.
And they offer a practical tip, too. Adding a little healthy fat, like olive oil, and maybe a squeeze of lemon juice, actually helps your body absorb those valuable nutrients better. And it makes them tastier, too, of course.
Good point. So this research indicates that lower inflammation translates directly to improved blood flow, more available energy for your muscles,
Right.
and ultimately better leg strength and function. It really does all seem to tie together, doesn't it? Addressing different parts of the problem at the same time.
It really does seem interconnected.
So we've explored the key players identified in this research: leucine, choline, beetroot, and greens, which addresses the what to eat. But this material also strongly stresses that when you eat these things is just as powerful, maybe even more so for getting the maximum benefit, especially as we get a little older.
That's a crucial insight from this research, yes. They bring back that concept of anabolic resistance in older adults.
Right, that decreased efficiency in using protein.
Exactly. But the good news, according to this material, is that it can be significantly overcome with strategic timing of your meals.
Okay, so how do you time it strategically? What's the approach they highlight?
They call it the 3-meal rule.
The 3-meal rule. Oh.
Yes, this research strongly advocates for distributing your protein intake much more evenly across the day.
Evenly? How so?
Instead of maybe having a small breakfast, a light lunch, and then trying to pack most of your protein into a big dinner.
Which a lot of people do, right?
Many people do. They suggest aiming for a significant dose, say 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Ah, okay, spreading it out.
Spreading it out. The idea being that you keep your body in a muscle-building and repair state more consistently throughout the entire day,
I see.
rather than just trying to give it one massive dose that it might not even fully utilize all at once, especially with that resistance factor.
That makes sense. So this approach helps bypass some of that age-related resistance.
That seems to be the thinking. And the research also highlights something often called the anabolic window.
Anabolic window? What's that?
It's a period shortly after any kind of physical movement, even gentle activity, like a walk around the block or some light stretching.
Okay.
During that time, your muscles are apparently particularly receptive to nutrients. They're primed for uptake.
Ah.
So they suggest that eating a high-protein meal or snack within an hour or two after even a short period of activity can be especially effective for promoting repair and building strength.
Interesting. Take advantage of that window after movement.
Exactly. And let's not forget the protein gap at night they mentioned.
Right. The overnight gap.
A very important point from this material. Many people, especially seniors, tend to eat very little protein in the hours before bed.
True.
But your body does significant muscle repair and rebuilding work overnight while you're sleeping. That's prime time for recovery.
So you need fuel for that.
Exactly. This research suggests that a small, easily digestible protein snack, maybe something like cottage cheese or a boiled egg consumed maybe an hour or two before bed, can help fuel that crucial overnight recovery process.
So timing really is key, making every bite count towards stronger legs.
It seems to be a major factor, according to this research.
Okay, putting all of this together then. This research even lays out a very practical morning protocol, a routine for leg revival, basically.
Yes, exactly. It's designed to be straightforward and easy to incorporate right into your morning, specifically targeting these processes from the moment you start your day.
Okay, let's walk through the 5 steps as they're outlined in the material. What's step 1?
Step 1 is something they call wake-up movement, just 5 to 10 minutes right after getting out of bed.
Wake-up movement. Nothing too strenuous.
Not at all. Just simple things like marching in place gently, maybe doing some ankle circles, or just a slow walk around the house.
Okay, what's the purpose of that?
It's meant to sort of signal your nervous system, like, okay, it's time to wake up, get ready to use nutrients effectively.
Got it. Waking up the system. Step 2.
Step 2 is the muscle activation breakfast, ideally within 60 minutes of waking up.
Okay, and this breakfast should include?
It should be built around those key nutrients we talked about. The research suggests something like those 3 whole eggs for choline and leucine.
Right.
Maybe paired with some whole grain toast or a side of those steamed greens.
Yeah.
And they mentioned an optional scoop of whey protein could be added, if that's easy for you.
So hitting those protein and choline targets early.
Exactly. Fueling both the nerves and the muscles right away.
Okay, step 3.
Step 3 is the blood flow booster. That's the beetroot juice. They suggest drinking that 250 milliliters, so about a cup, either with or immediately after your breakfast.
And the timing is key here, too.
Yes. Ideally about 90 minutes before you plan your most active part of the day, like maybe heading out for your daily walk. Gives the nitric oxide time to work.
90 minutes before activity.
About it.
What's step 4?
Step 4 is what they call the anti-inflammatory add-on. This is presented as optional but beneficial.
Okay, and that involves?
This could be taking a turmeric supplement, perhaps, or simply making sure those leafy greens are part of your breakfast meal. Just helping keep inflammation down, blood vessels open, nerve signals clear.
Makes sense. And the last step, step 5?
Step 5 is simply hydrate.
Water.
Yes. Drink at least 1 full glass of plain water right after waking up, even before coffee or tea, and have more with your breakfast.
Why is hydration so important here?
Well, this research points out that even mild dehydration can contribute significantly to muscle cramps and that general feeling of weakness in the legs.
Okay. Simple but important. It sounds like a very achievable routine, actually, combining simple steps and foods.
It does seem quite manageable, doesn't it? And this research suggests that consistently following this morning protocol helps to rebuild that essential muscle signaling, fuels recovery from daily activity, improves circulation down to the legs, and actively works to reduce that systemic inflammation.
And you said it doesn't take long.
They emphasize that, yes. It can take less than 30 minutes each morning and doesn't require any special equipment or medication.
Kind of like a daily reset button specifically for your legs.
That's a great way to think about it, a daily reset.
So, as we wrap up our exploration of this fascinating material, the core message that really comes through feels quite powerful and really hopeful, I think. That feeling of weak legs, it doesn't necessarily mean you're somehow fundamentally broken or that it's just an inevitable part of aging you have to accept.
Right. That seems to be the overarching takeaway. This research suggests they often just need to be reconnected, refueled, and maybe reawaken.
Reconnected, refueled, reawakened. I like that.
And this research provides a pretty clear, actionable toolbox based on those 3 key pillars we discussed.
Right. Activating the neuromuscular connection, focusing on proper nutrient timing and quality, and maintaining that anti-inflammatory balance in the body. And that practical toolbox includes those key nutritional elements and strategies we went through, all highlighted in this material.
Mm-hmm.
Leucine from foods like eggs or chicken to flip that muscle-building switch. Choline, especially from egg yolks, to restore the clarity of the brain-to-leg signal.
Right.
Beetroot for improved blood flow and oxygen delivery. Leafy greens, maybe turmeric, to fight that silent inflammation.
Yep.
Strategic protein timing across all your meals to help overcome that resistance. Making sure to fuel your muscles after movement.
Very important.
And those simple foundational steps like hydration and that initial waking movement to start the day right.
It might seem like a lot to remember at first, perhaps.
A little, yeah.
But this research reassures that it's really about building momentum over time. It's not about being perfect every single day.
Okay, that's good to hear.
If you miss a day or you miss a specific step, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. Just get right back on track the next day.
Consistency over perfection.
Exactly. Your body responds to consistent patterns, and small, consistent efforts really do build towards big changes over time.
And this research even hints at the potential for noticeable improvements starting fairly quickly, maybe within about 10 days or so.
That's what they suggest, yes.
Yeah.
Things like maybe less leg heaviness, feeling a bit more stable when you're walking, perhaps fewer cramps, and maybe even a renewed sense of energy and motivation to move more.
And that sounds like it could create a positive cycle, right?
Absolutely. When your legs start feeling stronger and more reliable, your confidence naturally grows.
Yeah.
And that confidence encourages you to move even more, which then reinforces the progress you're making. It's a wonderful upward spiral.
Now, of course, it's always important to have a conversation with your own doctor about any significant changes you're thinking about making to your diet or routine.
Always a good idea, yes.
But this research also encourages asking yourself some simple, empowering questions each day. Like, did I give my muscles the fuel they needed today? Or did I move in a way that helped wake my legs up?
Right. Or did I give my body the nourishment and timing it needed to repair and strengthen?
Exactly. This material suggests that the practical answers to feeling stronger often lie right there in your kitchen and in your daily habits.
It's a truly empowering perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your legs don't necessarily define your age.
No.
And your strength doesn't just automatically fade away irreversibly.
But your daily choices. This research strongly suggests they can absolutely define your comeback journey.
Yeah. Imagine walking like someone who just got their power back.
Because, according to this material, with the right approach, you might just find that you have.
A powerful thought.
We sincerely hope you found these insights helpful today, and maybe a little bit inspiring too.
We hope so.
If you did, please give this video a like. That little thumbs up really helps us understand what resonates with you.
It does. And if you'd like to continue exploring research and topics like this with us, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future conversations.
And please, we welcome your thoughts. If you have any questions at all about the material we discussed today, or maybe your own experiences.
Yeah, leave them for us in the comments section below. We truly enjoy hearing from you and engaging with your questions.
We do. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation and for spending this time with us today.
Yes, thank you.
We wish you strength, confidence, and ease in every single step you take.